What's up, good people? Thank you for checking me out here at the Real Counselor's Corner. As always, you can follow me on all social networks, IG, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at the Real Counselor's Corner. So, jumped on here this late Tuesday afternoon just to check out the new projector setup, and I'll get to that in just a second. But before I do, just a reminder, man, you missed part one of the Let's Build series. It was Saturday, September the 11th. Dugan Best Community Center. We talked about self-love. We talked about foresight. Part two coming soon. We're going to talk about discipline. Not the discipline when you get in trouble or consequences. We're talking about self-discipline. The discipline that you need to steer you in the right direction and prevent you from falling into your wants and not focusing on your needs. All right, so that's part two. So make sure you don't miss out if you missed out on part one. I'm gonna give you a little taste of part one today, just to check out the setup. You know, see how it works. I'm gonna give you a little taste of part one, just in case you missed it. But the whole purpose or the whole idea behind this setup is I'm gonna continue, going into the communities and providing these face-to-face lessons. But I'm also going to conduct some online things. Because I know some people just don't move and shake how they used to due to everything that's going on in the world. So, I'm going to put it in your face on the projector, the live sessions using the projector. And then plus it'll be right there at your hands. Boom. You want to know about self-love? Hit that link. You're going to see your boy. I'm going to talk about self-love with you. You want to know about foresight. You trying to talk to your child about foresight, looking forward. Man, hit that link, man. Got something for your son. Got something for your daughter, too. Working on that, too. Because one thing I wanted to put out there is that when I had that first session, I had those two young ladies there. And, they shined and talked about the things they wanted to be. Something told me, like, man, what are you doing? You got little girls out here, too. They got dreams and aspirations. And they got potholes. And they got... so I'm gonna put something together for our middle school, late elementary, middle school, high school girls. Something that I think would benefit them in their mental development and emotional well-being. So we're gonna get into that too. The thing about life is when you have things, even when you are set on something, man, but when you have something that you run into and it doesn't align with what your initial plan was, man, don't feel afraid or don't be hesitant to change. You know what I'm saying? That happens. So that's what we're doing here at the Real Counselor's Corner. But anyway, in regards to what's behind me, this is something I did use at the Let's Build series part one when we were talking about self-love. And this is one of my favorite quotes, from Marcus Garvey. And before I even get into the quote, let me explain why I admire Marcus Garvey. The biggest reason I admire Marcus Garvey is because his main objective is for black people to become independent, and that's the first step to freedom for anyone, is being independent. Because when you're independent, that means you do for self. You're not in need of someone to do for you. So that's the first step of being free. Until you're independently caring for yourself, are you really free? And that's a question, It's a rhetorical question, question we have to ask ask ourselves. But Marcus Garvey felt like independence, doing for self, that was a key to progression, for the black race. But let me read this quote here. It says, "A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, or culture is like a tree without the roots." So when I read this quote to students, the first thing I do is I hit them with the scientific piece. What do we know about trees and what do we know about roots? So this is something that they learn in elementary, early years in science. So someone always answers that question, and they talk about the importance of the roots. They usually say that's where they get the water, the nutrients, and then you'll have someone that'll say they hold the tree in place, which is one of the many things that the roots do on a tree. So then we go into the discussion of, so what happens when a windstorm comes and you have a tree with no roots or, feeble roots? They talk about how the tree will sway or whatnot, it will fall. And then we compare that to a tree that has, strong roots. And sometimes I've even shown videos of hurricanes that have went through, and we've looked at trees that have been torn down and, trees that were standing up. And the whole purpose of that is for these young people, because you got to remember we're dealing with young minds here, and young minds in most cases understand better when they have a visual. So I first try to get them to visualize this tree. And once they're able to visualize and understand, okay, the tree, windstorm, then that's when we talk about, you without understanding and knowing who you are, you're like the tree that is blown, fiercely by the wind. So every time something comes that is of struggle or of challenge, you're going to either fall down or sway instead of standing, upright and strong like the tree with roots. So that's how I break that down, when I talk to the youth. And also it introduces them to Marcus Garvey. I had a young lady that emailed me from part 1 of the series, because I asked them if they could email me a paragraph about W.E.B. Du Bois and Marcus Garvey. I said, give me your address. I'm going to send you something in the mail. And, young lady, Monday morning when I went to work, had an email. She sent me a paragraph of, an informative paragraph of W.E.B. Du Bois. And then she also sent me a paragraph of Marcus Garvey. And, she got a little gift from at the Real Counselor's Corner on the way, and it's always going to be something useful. I'm not into just sending gifts to say, here you go, surprise. I'm giving you something that not only is it a gift that's tangible, it's going to be a gift that's going to help you, move forward in some manner, I hope. So with all that being said, man, just keep watching, man. Just keep watching, keep supporting. More than anything, keep talking about it. That's the biggest thing. The more people that can talk about it, the more people that get word of this, the better position it puts me in to get this out there, because it needs to be. And, I'm not coming from, as I say, when I talk about the Real Counselor's Corner, realistic views far beyond unrealistic theories. So I'm not in here shooting you textbook stuff. I'm not in here solely focusing on statistics. Now, those things are important, very important. But, this is not the channel for that. This is not the motive here at the Real Counselor's Corner. My motive is to communicate with the people. So if I'm in a setting that requires me to speak that language, then I will do so. But the majority of my settings, I'm in situations where I can speak to people in ways that is understood and, in ways that make people feel comfortable. That's what we about here at the Real Counselor's Corner. So all that being said, make sure y'all come and check me out on Sunday. I'm planning to do a live lesson on how to use a career planning tool. We're going to talk about the interest inventory, give you parents, aunts, and uncles something you can do with the youth at home as a conversation starter. That career assessment inventory is going to give you a list of careers based on how you respond to those statements. So it's based on, what you like to do and what you do not like to do. And, that's what we all would love in a career. It's something that we enjoy doing. So I'm going to hook you up, parents. So make sure you checking me out on the 19th. It's Sunday, I believe it's the 19th. And then, of course, part 2 of the Let's Build series, we're talking about discipline. It's on the way. I'll give you more details, as I plan all that, iron out details and all that. I'm going to shoot it right back to you. But until then, God willing, I'm going to see y'all soon. Peace.